Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 18 of Season 5 of our F122 My Team Career Mode. Yes, we're back this weekend at the Circuit of the Americas. If you missed out on the last video that went live earlier on this week from Suzuka, Japan, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. Safe to say, things could still potentially heat up before the end of the year. Championship-wise, Leclerc and Lando Norris both had a nightmare last weekend, so we have brought the gap back down to 47 points to our teammate. 47 points is quite a lot still on F122, but with 5 races to go, it's not out of the realms of possibility just yet. However, we do come into this race weekend with 2 wins back-to-back, and still, on F122 in this series, I am yet to win 3 Grand Prix in a row. Can we finally end my curse this weekend, or will more engine troubles come back to dog us here? Let's get into it. US Grand Prix, get yourself subscribed if you're not already, and let's see how we get on. Well, I can't lie, we start this weekend with some sad news. It's apparent that Texas is home now to nuclear bomb testing. It's the only explanation I can think of for what on earth is going on with the sunlight around this COTA circuit. I'm sure you already are well aware of what the back straight can be like on F122, but honestly it feels like it's on another level this weekend. So for all of you that may be watching from Texas, I hope you're all safe, and I hope the nuclear bombs stop going off soon. I've also probably just demonetized this video by mentioning that inside the first 3 minutes. But anyway, jumping into qualifying then, Charles Leclerc fastest so far Q1 and Q2. Top times look to be down into the low 31s. We might even see a 1 minute 30 coming out in this session. Not my best track in the world for 1 lap pace, I'll be honest. I do sometimes struggle to really get this car hooked up, as there's apparently 2 cars battling just up the road. But look at this! What is that? I mean, there's gotta be some sort of mushroom cloud appearing quite soon over the menu there. As okay, so I knew immediately they're down into the mid-32s. I'll call it 32.4. Maybe I meant 131s. Might be possible. Perez, that is so bad. What is that? The Mexican just broke on the racing line and then still tried to fight me through the corner. Well, that's definitely going to cost me through the final couple of corners. Completely pinned, though, through the Turkey section. Then just going to try and keep the back end balanced. So Charles Leclerc 31.0. So, sorry, it was 30s that we might be able to get then around this circuit at the final corner. What are we going to do? 32 flat. We only go P4 there. A second behind our teammates. Here comes Checo Perez. The temptation to block him is real. Right, come on then. Let's do this thing. Pole position, lap inbound. It's definitely not. Charles Leclerc, I think, has locked up yet another pole position, but that's what you get when you give probably the best 1 lap qualifier still in Formula 1. One of the best cars on the grid there up to turn 1 though. Actually getting the car near the apex that time round. 3 tenths up already. Let's see what we can improve by then. What a lap it could have been here, but out of the final corner we are going to improve by about half a second. Puts us P5 sorry, in the end. But I think if we got that really nailed, we actually could have given Charles a run for his money. Well, despite Sergio Perez's antics then early on in qualifying, does still find himself on the front row of the grid there, as all 3 championship rivals will be lining up on the same side. Charles Leclerc pole, half a second away for us then, so we definitely could have been in the fight to be on the front row. But let's get into it. US Grand Prix. I feel like I've got pretty decent race pace around here. Let's see what we can do.
Welcome once again then to the United States Grand Prix here in the magnificent city of Austin. It was here in 2018 that Kimi Raikkonen delighted the world by taking the top step of the podium for the first time in 114 races. There's always a record to be broken, so what, I wonder, is in store for us here today? We're racing then today in Travis County, Texas, around the 20 corners of this wonderful Circuit of the Americas. We'll be reaching speeds of around 200 miles per hour here today, and there are plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the two DRS zones into turn 1 and the long back straight into turn 12. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Tsunoda, Mr. Monaco, and Mick Schumacher. Gasly, Ricciardo, Ocon, and Guan Yu Zhou. Bottas, Oscar Piastri, Alex Albon, and Stroll. Daruvula, Yuri Vips, Daniel Ticktum, and Nicholas Latifi. Schwartzman, Drugovic. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Magnussen and Théo Pourchaire. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
We're still in with a chance of winning this title. We need you to push as hard as you can in the 5 remaining races.
Well, Mark actually giving us some useful information there, ready for the start of the US Grand Prix in terms of strategy. Okay, game reckons that's possible then. 18 laps on the hards, 10 laps on the mediums, and then 10 laps on the soft compound tyres to see us through to the end. I don't know what it is about F122, but it seems to believe COTA is a lot worse on tyre wear than I remember it being there. Perez, it looks like he's taking the gamble as well, starting on the softs. Norris definitely isn't, but I don't know what Charles is doing. Well, I'm really starting to wonder what my thought process needs to be in these final few Grand Prix. Do I try and think big picture and worry about the championship, or do I just try and go for wins? I suppose really we kind of got to go for wins if I want to think about the bigger picture. But yeah, it's a very weird time in my team career, but they've never really been in this situation before. But anyway, Aston Martin's lining up at the rear of the field. Of course, scored their first points of the year last weekend. What will we be able to do here, though? Championship rivals directly in front of me on the road. 5 red lights for the US Grand Prix. Lights out, and away we go. Really decent hook up there as Sergio Perez is going to jump to the lead of the Grand Prix. 4 wide already as we head down in towards the first corner there. And look at Zhou Guan Yu! What is that from the McLaren car there? From about 9th to 4th off the start there. They're still going to be 3 wide, sorry, as we head down the hill there, as I've been absolutely swamped off the start there, rather unsurprisingly, I'm sure, to most of you. Pierre Gasly just trying to get the car settled in, but both of the drivers started on soft compound tyres there. Zhou Guan Yu and Sergio Perez making big gains there. Looks like Lando Norris has also got around Charles Leclerc off the start there, so good little start by Lando as well, of course. Took a few points out of our teammate last weekend. I'm sure we'd want to do the same here. As look, Oscar Piastri, the audacity of the young man there. He's just pulled off a triple dive bomb at the start of this race there, and that's going to be one of the most hectic starts I've ever seen on F122. Still going to try and defend from Pierre Gasly in that ever-improving Mercedes as we get down to the end of the back straight there. Don't want to run into the back of Yuki Tsunoda. Almost lock up though and send myself to the shadow round, but we have survived the start then. But what a crazy start it's been. We're down to P8. Our teammates lost a couple of places as well there. Sergio Perez at the front of the field now. He'll need to run away early on and use those tyres. Mark just informed me that the start was fine, but it was certainly crazy Might already be able to sense a problem with the car this weekend. We have not got any straight line speed. Thought I wasn't running particularly high wings around here, but apparently I am, as Yuki Tsunoda going to have to go defensive on us. I'm trying to have a look around the outside there, but again, the AI always just sit on the apex through there, and then we'll try and get the power down. Not able to find anywhere around the Japanese driver at the moment, as AlphaTauri have certainly developed a very, very quick car. To the inside we'll go, though, so we head through the S section there, but
Nice work, mate. That brings you
what is that? Yuki Tsunoda's just gone for a touring car move. Turned me around, has then still not lifted out of it there. We're still side by side with him off the corner. How on earth can Yuki Tsunoda get away with antics like that? And suddenly we've been shuffled right back in the midfield. Then P14 in this Grand Prix. I've got Lance Stroll trying to have a look up the inside as well there. This has been a nightmare early on at Kota. We're just getting bullied. I really had no intention of battling Haas cars this afternoon, but the home team, Vanderovel, are not doing too badly. His teammate Felipe Drugovich serving some grid penalties in this weekend's race, so I don't think points are very likely for Haas, but maybe, just maybe, if they get a well-timed safety car or something like that. To the inside of Drugovich will go. I was very, very worried then that he was going to turn in on me, but look at that, Yuki. You can get overtaken and not then try and revenge turn the car in front of you. What staggered me more from that incident, the fact Yuki Tsunoda actually did that, or the fact he didn't get any front wing damage from it either. So we head back up towards turn 1 then. Oh no! Latifi? Oh, hey, hello. Sorry, I was trying to come up with something mean to say about Latifi then, but I kind of... this is awful commentary. Let's just skip forward. Well, Daniel Ricciardo certainly has once again been left in Lando Norris's shadow this season, whether it's in a McLaren car or Ferrari car. And the evidence is just clear that Lando Norris currently is a much more skilled driver than the Australian. Here's we're going to try and have a look to the inside of Danny Rick down the end of the backstretch. Of course, track falls away from you into that corner, so it is very, very easy to lock up. But back into 11th place we go then. We are still making decent progress here, but yeah, still nowhere near where I want to be. Vips, big wobble out of the final corner, new fastest lap of the day. So clearly we have still got some good pace in the wagon. To the outside of the Estonian, there has had an absolutely explosive year with Williams in his debut season, but we should be able to get the switch off the exit. Side by side as we head down the hill. Neither of us willing to give up on this. I'm lost for words. Oh, don't rejoin onto the racing line, Matt. I had visions then of just getting absolutely rear-ended, but twice in 6 laps I've been taken out here, and it reminds me, I think it was the Haas category when Charles Leclerc did that to me. We are now last place in this Grand Prix. At least we can't go any further back. Oh, I really do not want to be sat behind Kevin Magnussen and Teo Porcher all too long this afternoon. These two are just, I mean, I don't think it's the drivers, I think it is just the car they've got underneath them. It is so slow in comparison to everything else. Currently kicking around in Formula 1. To the inside of Kevin Magnussen will go, and we are no longer in last place then in this GP. Will we be able to get a run on Porcher as we head up the back straight? He hasn't got any DRS off the car in front of him, so surely this one will be a fairly simple move as well. There's Latifi, we know, has got issues as well. To the inside of our old teammate, and we're back into P20. Latifi's definitely struggling, look at that. Up the inside will go, and Latifi wants nothing to do with it. We'll be up into P19. Felipe Drugovich then next up on the old hit list. Haas once again, looks like there's quite a few cars actually with no DRS in this Grand Prix, so we might be able to pick up a few. Of course not. Why would they make it any easier for me? Honestly, I think there's something built into this game. It knows when I've got 2 wins in a row that it has to do everything possible to make sure I don't make it 3 there. Is that the inside of Drugovich? Will he try and drive through me? Luckily not this time. 24 seconds back, and I've just noticed Perez has already pit in this Grand Prix and come back out ahead of me. We've lost a pit stop from all this BS early on. And the only way we get back into this race sensibly is if we get a well-timed safety car, but we just got to keep doing what we're doing at the moment. Keep my head down, focus to the outside of Robert Schwartzman. I'm amazed that Alfa Romeo's not breaking down just yet. Alfa Romeo, yeah, of course, another one that just can't hit their brakes when they're side by side. That time around, though, we're able to switch him. Yellows, someone's gone round. I think it's an Alpine. And Stroll has resumed racing, so not too sure what's happened to the Canadian, but we're up another place. We've got a few more cars into the pit lane then. There are actually quite a few that started on the softs this weekend there, so we are going to break up in towards the top 10 once more, as up the inside of Dan Tipton. Might even be able to get Piastri off the exit. Already gone side by side with an AlphaTauri once through here early on in the race. Not letting it happen again though, as the Australian there will have to back out. And we are now 6 seconds behind Perez. There we go, starting to see a few more AI into the pit lane. Then Yuri Vips, the first of the medium runners to blink. We've only got to go a few more laps on these medium tyres, and nice to see of course the AI early on were able to take their softs as far as they've done. But to be honest, I'm just happy that we've actually had a few laps where I've just been able to drive and clear my head again. I mean, we're not going to win this race unless we get a safety car. And it does pretty much mean the championship fight is well and truly buried, but I'm just trying to give it my all. There we go. A load more cars into the pit lane this time around, but Lando and Charles both still opting to stay out there just a little bit longer. We're going to come out pretty close to Mick Schumacher. And we're back into P5 then of this race, so I don't even think we're going to get a chance to lead here. But I am interested to see when Checo's going to pit again. There we go. Charles and Lando into the pits. Just said that, Mark. Are we going to be out ahead of them, though? I don't think so. So Sergio Perez is still going to be in the lead of this Grand Prix. Zhou Guanyu is likely to be battling those two up in towards turn 1. He might get between them then. Yes, he has. Zhou Guanyu up into P3, but Charles Leclerc is not going to make it easy for him as they head down the hill. Are we going to see Charles Leclerc make the move? What? No, has to slot in behind him. And that gives Lando Norris some extra breathing room up at the front of the field. Oh, there we go. Zhou Guanyu blinks again into the pit lane for the Chinese driver. So we're definitely still going to be battling him towards the end of this race. Team want us in at the end of this lap. And Charles Leclerc's got to try and get back to Lando. Into the pits we'll go then. Sergio Perez staying out. Yet another one. Surely the Mexican's not trying to get to the end on those mediums. Will be a very, very brave strategy if he is. Tyler warning light just flashing up as we set a 34.8 on our in-lap there. We have not given up pace-wise this afternoon, and I'm still going to be pushing right to the checkered flag there. If we can just get any sort of point still, it's going to be quite the win there. But of course, most cars are going to be on hards. We're going to be on our fresh set of soft compounded tyres, so we should have a big advantage. So we almost loop it heading out the pit lane then, and look at that, we've actually got a big overcut. Whoa! Jay Anderuvala? What is that? The Haas car trying to go for the absolute heroics in towards turn 1 there and diving it down my inside, and I was... Oh, I've been rammed, and we've got front wing. What? I mean, that just sums this race up, doesn't it? Trying to let Jay Anderuvala by, he lifts out, I try and lift out. Zhou Guanyu then rams me into him. So I think the McLaren's picked up damage. We've picked up damage as well. I really don't know what to say. Anyway, let's just damage limitation. Let's try and see if we can get points. I reckon Perez is trying to go to the end of this Grand Prix. Then 34.3, new fastest lap of the day. We aren't running any quicker though, or much quicker even, than the front runners there. Just to the inside. I knew Tsunoda was going to turn in, and honestly, with the way he drove earlier, I don't care. We're P11 again. I just want to try and get points. Yuri Vips then is my next victim in this Grand Prix, and honestly, if I were you, mate, I wouldn't be putting up much of a fight here, because I am not messing around anymore in this GP. I can't believe, honestly, that I let myself believe we still had a small chance at this championship there, as the Estonian is going to try and fight it. We will get to the inside though still, and we're going to be up then back into the points. But why on earth did I allow myself to have any thought of maybe we could claw back these points in the final few Grand Prix? Something else was always going to go wrong. This has got to be one of the most cursed F1 seasons there's ever been on YouTube. Oh, yellow flag's out, 3 laps to go as I'm making a hash of the S's. Looks like it's that Alpine. I think it's Lance Stroll then out of the GP. Too late for us to get a safety car here. So, yeah, that really does not help us at all. Ricciardo, I'm still trying to close in on him, but the front wing damage, we got nothing. Yeah, definitely cut that corner a bit too much. It's just so difficult to work out what's going on with the damage. And we might now not even score a point then. Yuri Vips might still get me. 2 laps to go, they get 2 seconds. I've still got to keep pushing. Our final lap then of the US Grand Prix, and what an absolute nightmare this weekend has become qualifying. We were there or thereabouts, a couple of small mistakes, and I wasn't quite able to maximise the car, but we did pretty well to line up still in P5. But race day Sunday, the AI have been out to get me this afternoon. I feel like the pace has been pretty good, but of course, yeah, with the front wing damage as well, I mean, we're dragging the car through this first sector every lap. It's wrecked the soft compound tyres much quicker than you would ever expect them to normally. Looks like Perez is going to hang on, though, to the victory somehow, getting those medium compound tyres, 20 laps in this Grand Prix, so he was even able to extend them further than I was able to manage over the course of the afternoon. I think Lando, once again, is just going to take a few points at Charles Leclerc there and come through for P2. Charles Leclerc P3, just, lost P2 at the start and never really was able to get it back, so maybe this was a track that the car struggled with a tiny bit for pace against those Red Bulls and those Ferraris. But for us, I mean, we got turned around by Yuki early on. We then were battling out with the midfield. I got span again. And then, of course, the front wing damage as well. Drugovich pushing me. Zhou Guanyu pushing me into Felipe Drugovich. It's been a disaster. The curse continues. I cannot win 3 races in a row in this game. And, well, like I said, I'm a mug for feeling I had any slim chance at the championship. Through the final couple of turns, it's going to be P10 on the road. No, it's not. Yuri Vips is going to have me and take the place for good through the final corner. And that is so upsetting.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
A truly magnificent drive and a great performance from the entire team, securing victory here in Austin. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I feel consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. Despite the best efforts of our championship leader, that lead has taken a bit of a knock today. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Natalie Pinkham, come on, who do you pick?
I have to give it to Mr. Monaco. They pushed and pushed and found some fantastic performance. It was an absolute pleasure to watch.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Well, there we are then, the end of the US Grand Prix there. Sergio Perez getting another race victory for Red Bull there. Lando Norris just 4 tenths back, Charles Leclerc less than a second away. So top 3 different teams, 3 different power units covered by less than a second come the checkered flag there. Mick Schumacher, a return to form by the young German. P4 in the end, ahead of Oscar Piastri, Bottas, Gasly, Ocon, Ricciardo and Yuri Vips rounding out our top 10 there. Somehow I still get driver of the day, despite finishing P12. Championship-wise, of course, all those points I took out of Suzuka, they're gone. 62 points back, 5 points though between Lando and Charles as we head into the final few Grand Prix there, so that certainly has been, Lando is consistently just outscoring Charles by a little bit over the last few weekends there. Perez leapfrogs his way back into P4 and best of the rest, ahead of Bottas, who's still ahead of Ocon and Daniel Ricciardo there. Schumacher re-jumped Stroll in their little ongoing feud a bit further down the order, and constructors-wise, no changes there. 106-point lead over Ferrari. We might be able to wrap that up in the next couple of Grand Prix. But thank you all so much for watching this video nonetheless. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well. We will be back very, very soon with more of the My Team Career Mode. 4 races to go. I just want to get to the end of Season 5, and then fingers crossed Season 6, I've got some big plans for it. We can really try and finish this game on a high. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.